sandwich shop that used to be there. On the other hand, it was empty and available. She had arranged access to a bank loan, which meant that as soon as Warren, the new arcade manager, was ready to lease it out again, she could have it. Then phase 2 of her plans for the bakery could begin. She would be able to serve tea and cake as well as running the cake baking business on the side. She could do classes and cake decorating too. She'd made a business plan and everything. Warren had said he'd call her when he had inspected everything and was ready to put the shop out for lease again. It had been a week, so it was probably a good time to call him and ask how that was going. She pushed open the door to her bakery. The bell above the door tinkled, and Marty, her shop assistant and friend, looked up from where he was leaning against the counter, flicking through a magazine. A frown flickered across Marty's face. What's that look for? He said. What happened? Did the customer refuse to pay? Oh, no, nothing like that. I just spoke to my mum, that's all. Marty rolled his eyes. Oh, no. What now? She wants me to join with one of her little dinners. I think she's trying to set me up with some guy again. Marty gave her a sympathetic smile. I mean, it's good that someone is looking for a hot man for you, but I'm sorry your mum's the one doing it. Are you going to this dinner? Can't really avoid it. That was the trouble with still living with her parents. The house was big enough that they could avoid each other most of the time, which she did manage to do. But if her mother was determined to keep watch on when Elodie came and went, she absolutely could. She promised she would leave me alone until I was 26, said Elodie. I checked because I know what she's like and she was clear on that. I've still got 4 months. Yeah, but you didn't write it down, did you? Said Marty. Schoolgirl error. True. She got her order book out, stared at the cake orders, then said, Shall I go and see Warren again about the shop let? There's still no to let sign up. Marty shrugged. I suppose, can't hurt. I'll take him some cakes. Let me pack that for you. 4 cupcakes enough? Marty got a cake box out. I saw Warren hanging around the empty shop yesterday, he said. Don't know what that means. The arcade was owned by the Hegarty family. Warren had only recently taken over from his dad and now managed the leases on the shops and the arcade. Make it 6, she said. May as well try to get on his good side. Like just about everyone else in the arcade, she had been fond of old Mr. Hegarty. Warren wasn't nearly as mild-mannered and friendly. A few minutes later, she was walking through the old arcade to the manager's office, which was in a unit at the farthest end from her. The arcade was laid out in a square, with bigger shop units on the outside. 2 corridors intersected in the middle, dividing it into 4. This was where the smaller shops, like hers, had space. The floors were tiled in cream and green. The walls were pale. Cotswold stone. Elodie looked up at the beams as she walked. The metalwork was ornate and had been recently repainted dark green. If you raised your eyes from the colorful shop fronts, the metalwork and stone were beautiful. Where the corridors met, a clear dome in the roof created a pool of natural light in the middle. Underneath it was a small raised island full of leafy plants surrounded by white benches. She loved sitting there in the winter, when the sunlight coming through the dome created a bubble of warmth from which to enjoy the Christmas garlands that hung from the beams. Right now, in early summer, it was pleasantly warm there. In a few weeks, when the sun shone in earnest, it would be stiflingly hot. Going down the opposite arm of the building, she came to the unassuming door to the office. It was just another shop unit that had frosted windows instead of a display, and no signage above it. She rang the buzzer. It's Elodie from the cake shop? She was buzzed in. There was no reception, just a secretary's desk and an office. The office secretary's eyes lit up when she saw the cake box. She had been